When you've been in the industry for 3 decades, like I have, you just notice trends. And this is a big one. Stay tuned. I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening. Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer. And as much as I don't like it, this is a trend. And I've been in this industry since 1994. We just passed 30 years in this industry. And year after year after year, it proves itself to be true. And that is the top 3 biggest months for weight loss. The 3 biggest months that I seem to do the most business, the 3 biggest months that people tend to buckle down, the 3 biggest months that people tend to get their poop in a group and say, I'm going to do this. Yes, there are 3 months out of the 12 that tend to be the biggest months of the year that people want to lose weight. Let's go through them and talk about why this is true. And I don't like it. Particularly, I don't like it. I think when I've done podcasts, I mean, we're coming up on 300 episodes at this time, and I've done episodes. I think I did an episode years ago called 2:00 on a Tuesday. And the point of that podcast was if you are ready, you're ready. So why is it? I just don't like it. I don't like when somebody like, I think if you're ready, you're ready. It doesn't matter when it is. But I am not my target niche. I am definitely not the normal person. And the average normal person tends to really buckle down during these 3 months. They tend to really get their butt in gear. So let's go through them, starting with the most obvious. Say it with me out loud if you know it. I know you do because you've jumped on this bandwagon too. Yes, it is January. It is January. Now, it's going to seem obvious to you, like, oh, of course. And that's unfortunate that it's so obvious to you, because that tells me that you have played that game as well. There are only outliers that this doesn't apply to. It doesn't apply to me. I mean, it's just, and for a couple of reasons we'll go through, but most everybody falls victim to this whole mindset and this whole trend. Pretty much everybody I know, especially if you have kids, and I'll tell you why. But let's go through January first. January is, yes, New Year's resolutions. That's the biggest reason why people tend to buckle down and lose weight, because New Year's resolution, the number one New Year's resolution, and it's been trending like this for like 60 years, is weight loss. People want to lose weight. And why is it that people want to lose weight on January 1st? I think it is not so much, it's partly New Year, new me, but it's partly coming off the holidays. You know, we go through this series of holidays starting with Halloween. So you're talking about October 31st through January 1st. October 31st through January 1st. Now, the average American gains 10 pounds between Thanksgiving and New Year, and that's just about 5 weeks. However, it really starts on Halloween, October 31st. People, I mean, let's think about Halloween. Halloween? I mean, it's celebrated. Candy is celebrated. Candy is expected. Candy is sold in astronomical numbers. It's all about candy. The whole holiday revolves around candy. But if you know me, you know that I absolutely despise Halloween in every way, shape, and form. Every single thing about Halloween, I hate it. And I don't celebrate it. I don't acknowledge it. I don't like it at all. I don't participate. I don't dress up. I don't decorate. I don't mention it. I don't like Halloween at all. It's an evil holiday. And I know some of you guys are like, "Okay, I can't, I don't care. It's my podcast. You're listening. I can say what I want." It's an evil holiday and it's around evil. And when I was growing up, we were allowed to participate as church kids in a church type of celebration that was Halloween night, but you dressed up as Bible characters. So that you still got to dress up like kids like to do. I remember one year distinctly, I remember being Queen Esther from the Bible, and I put these pearls around my head, this pearl necklace. I would put it around my head, and I was holding really still so that they wouldn't fall off my head. And it was just, that's kind of the Christian kid, the church kids version of Halloween, because Halloween is it, and people are like, "Well, you're demonizing it." Yeah, because it's evil. That's why. I'm not demonizing it. It is truly evil. It is based around goblins and ghosts and spirits and demons, and it's evil. It's inherently evil. Halloween, Hallows Eve is evil. I don't care what you say. You cannot convince me of it being any differently. Whether you choose to celebrate it, or you let your kids dress up and you go trick or treating, that's up to you. I'm not going to lecture you on that. I don't recognize it. I don't like it. I don't acknowledge it. I don't celebrate it. But it is, and it's about the candy. I mean, now here in Boise, we have this road called Harrison Boulevard, and it is the famous Harrison Boulevard. I think every single home on Harrison Boulevard, which I think is about a mile long, is $1 million or more home. And they're old homes, but most of them have been redone, because the old homes, nobody wants old homes, because old homes had separate formal dining rooms and very small kitchens and lots of little rooms. People are redoing these old homes and they're opening them up because open concept is what people like. So, but they're old homes with no garages, because back in the day when they were built, families only had one car and they didn't need a garage. It was kind of like a carport or just a car pad that you pulled your car up on. That was what was in back then. So these beautiful $1 million homes along Harrison Boulevard are owned by people who can afford those, and people who pretty much probably have gutted the home and redone it, and they live there. And it's beautiful stretch of road, about a mile long, and it's lined with the most beautiful trees you've ever seen, and it's gorgeous. In all four seasons it is beautiful, and it's just this canopy of foliage that's over the road, and it looks like something out of a movie. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, Harrison Boulevard is well known in celebrating Halloween, and really all the holidays. You can drive up and down Harrison Boulevard in any holiday of the year, and all the people, almost all the homeowners, go all out. And Halloween is the biggest one. They go all out with full size Halloween decorations. They do these moving mechanical things, these things that blow up. They do dry ice. I mean, they go all out. They put these graveyards in their yard. They do these mechanical skeletons. They do these ghosts that fly along on strings. I mean, they're really into it on Harrison Boulevard. Plus, most of the houses give out full size candy bars. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up and we were allowed to trick or treat in our Christian Bible character costumes, we collected candy like all kids did. And of course, Jerry Seinfeld, you guys know the comedian Jerry Seinfeld. He talks about in one of his bits from 20 plus years ago how he was like, when he would get his candy from trick or treating, and it would be in a giant punch bowl and the top would be curved. That's how much candy. He said, I would consume all that candy that night. He goes, next morning, wake up, feel fantastic. And that's the truth, isn't it? But as parents, you guys, you're having to walk your kid along and stuff, and now you're exposed to all the candy. You might be giving out candy at your house, so you got candy in your house. You're bombarded with candy in the grocery stores. It's everywhere. I mean, I know Walmart puts out like two full aisles, plus the end caps of just candy. And it's everything you can imagine. So it's thrown in your face for a whole month leading up to Halloween. So you got the whole month of October that you're dealing with that. And then you've got a week following Halloween. So that'd be the first week of November, where the Halloween candy is 80% off until it's gone. So then you got one weekend in November, and now the decorations come out for fall, for Thanksgiving. And now you're kind of starting to get into pumpkin spice latte. You might have eaten way too much candy and you're recovering from that. But of course, when you eat sugar, it triggers you to want more sugar. So now maybe you stash some of that candy and you're continuing to eat it. Maybe you've got some 80% off candy because it's 80% off. And what you paid $7 for is now a dollar and a half or something. And so now you've got clearance candy and you're stashing it in your freezer, you're stashing it in your house. I know I have a relative that does that. And you're continuing to eat this candy. And now we're going into cold weather, which makes you want to eat more anyway. And you can't quite seem to get ahead of yourself uh going into Thanksgiving. And then we're in Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving comes with all the Thanksgiving stuff. And then we go right into Christmas. And Christmas comes with all the Christmas stuff. So you've been consuming sugar, processed food, junk food, alcohol, soda, drive-through, caramel macchiatos, pumpkin spice lattes, all the stuff you know is not good for you and that does your health no good. You've been consuming that from really mid-October, let's just be generous and say mid-October when candy started going out and on sale, all the way through New Year's Eve. You wake up January 1st, you're hungover, and you're determined to make changes. That's it. Of course, the whole time through Thanksgiving and through Christmas, you've been telling yourself that January 1st is the day. You've been telling yourself, January 1st, this place is, we're cleaning the house out and we're buckling down. So January 1st is just a given. You're so sick of yourself. And we physically feel sick from all the junk we've been consuming since mid-October. So, you're talking 2.5 months of just consuming junk. And so we're physically sick of ourselves. We physically have put on weight. Our joints, our hands are swollen, our feet are swollen, we're bloated, we've got acne, our IBS has flared up, our medications, we've had to up our insulin. All these things are going on because our body is negatively reacting to all the chemically processed junk food and sugar and increased alcohol, party after party, gathering after gathering. You keep saying, it's just this once. Well, we're in the holidays. I'm not even going to go through the bullcrap excuses that you say, but it is happening. Whatever you want to say to yourself, it is happening. Time after time, you're baking, you're bringing things over, you're bringing things into your kids' classroom. Like it's one thing after the other, and it doesn't stop. It's every other day. You're having to bake, you're having to go to some place that has this kind of junk food. So you're bombarded. And so you feel physically sick. You're so sick of being fat. You're bloated. Your clothes don't fit. You're tired. You have a headache. You have a stomach ache. All the things that come along with copious amounts of sugar and processed food and alcohol. So now January 1st comes in and rolls around. And you're so grateful that Cristy Code Red is having a 10-pound takedown right around the start, right around this time, because you're like, let's go. Or you do something like 75 hard, or you start your first Ozempic shot, or you start going to CrossFit, or you start doing Orange Theory, or you start doing F45, or whatever method you've chosen to try to get this weight off and feel better. January is the month. It is the big month for all of this. And people make also New Year's resolutions, which I wrote a book called New Year's Resolutions Suck, because people, they just ask themselves to do so much and then they can't stick with any of it. So they don't do any of it. So instead of just saying my New Year's resolution is drink a gallon of water a day for the entire year, for the rest of my life, you say, I'm going to do CrossFit 5 days a week. I'm going to lose 15 pounds in the month of December, a month of January. I'm going to read a chapter a day of my Bible every single day. I'm going to make sure I have intimacy with my spouse 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Like you set out all these things. Meanwhile, you've got 3 kids, 2 dogs. You work full time outside the home. You're also watching, your oldest child's grandchild. So you got your grandchild you're watching. Like it's too much. It's too much. And the New Year's resolution peters out about 10 to 14 days into the new year. People just don't maintain them because it's too much. I'd rather maintain one, actually keep it up for the whole year and make it a lifestyle change than have five that I do for 10 days. Really? Does that make any sense to you? New Year's resolutions suck. People overload themselves and they get themselves in a jam where they can't keep up any of it because nobody can keep that up. How do you keep that up? You haven't been able to keep it up. You're 38 years old. You haven't ever been able to keep it up. What makes you think you can do all that right now? It is ridiculous. It's an unrealistic, ridiculous plan that's going to fail and has failed. It's failed every time. That's why the 10-pound takedown is so great because you can lose at least 10 pounds in 30 days by doing a simple plan, by following a simple food list of meat, vegetables, nuts, eggs, seeds, seafoods, and fat, by following 10 simple rules, by tracking your water, your weight, and your sleep each day. It's so simple. I didn't say it was easy. I said it was simple. There is a difference. I'll do a podcast about that someday. I didn't say simple. I didn't say easy. I said simple. It is simple because I don't think that being skinny is easy. And certainly being fat ain't easy. None of it's easy. None of it's easy. None of it's easy, but it is simple. And you compare it to other plans, you won't lose 10 pounds in 30 days, at least. And the average weight loss is 12.2. You won't lose 12.2 pounds in 30 days with no shakes, pills, diet foods, or exercise. So this is the easiest hard, a 10-pound takedown. So I think that's the best bet if you are going to start in January to join a 10-pound takedown, or if you're going to start anytime, join a 10-pound takedown. But January is definitely the obvious month that people lose weight. It is the number one biggest weight loss month of the year. The number two biggest weight loss month of the year is September. And I know I skipped to the end of the year to tell you number two, but it is the second biggest. January is the first biggest. September is the second biggest. And why is that? First and foremost, the biggest thing, that the biggest determining factor is the kids are now back in school. So you've gone through summer vacation where the kids are out of school, depending on how old your kids and grandkids are, and depending on who watches them during the day, and depending on what job you have. Either you work outside the home, or you have an at-home business, or you are a stay-at-home mom, or however it's structured for you, or you're retired, or whatever is for going on with you. You have the kids are back in school. And that means routine, routine, routine. Routine is the name of the game. And so, and I know that parents joke about it and there are memes about it. And I've never actually birthed the child from my birthing canal. So I cannot, and I have helped raise one, but I have not done that before. I don't have my own child. I can say what I've heard. And that is the parents tell me their kids drive them crazy during the summer when they're home. My kids drive me crazy, I hear. My kids and grandkids drive me crazy in the summertime. I can't wait for school to be back in session so that we can get back on a routine. And so with the introduction of school again, we've got the introduction of a routine again. We got everybody waking up at the same time every day. You're not eating out as much. You're not going on vacation as much. You're not going boating anymore. You're not going to anybody's house. The kids aren't staying over. You've got structure, and you've got routine, and you've got boundaries, and you've got rules, and they're all being enforced. They have to be, in order for you to successfully get everybody back into school and going like they should. And so September is a great month for routine with the kids being back in school. Another reason why September is the second biggest month for weight loss is because that's a time that that, like September, okay, holidays are coming. I have all of September. Let's just say half of September, or let's say, I think school starts in August, really, but September is the month that people really buckle down. So I have all of September, all of October, and almost all of November. Let's just say half. So I have 2.5 months to lose weight before I see family again, or before I see my husband's coworkers again at the company Christmas party. And that is a big motivating factor for people when they know they have all of September, all of October, and half of November to get the weight off so they feel good in holiday photos again. Because they've been screwing around this summer. Most people screw around during the summer. People hate losing weight during the summer. Right now, I'm recording this in July of 2024, mid July, third week of July, 2024. Yeah, third week of July. And people they're funny. Our 10-pound takedowns are always pretty small in the summertime. And we know this. I mean, I've been doing this a lot, many years, many years. All right. Coming up on 9 years that I've been doing the 10-pound takedown. And I just know what to expect. And that is how it goes. People don't the 10-pound takedowns are lean during the summers. People just they want to be able to drink and party and boat and take snacks on the boat and take snacks to the beach, and they want to eat their way through Disney World, and they want to eat while they're vacationing in Europe, and they don't want to mind their intake. They don't want to pay attention to their food. They just don't. They want to eat whatever they want, whenever they want, in any quantity that they want. And they just do. So they don't want to lose weight, even though they feel like crap. When you eat copious amounts when you abuse food, sugar, and alcohol, which is what you're doing, which is what most people are doing. I see it all the time. They don't feel good. You don't feel good. You actually don't sleep well. You get up, you don't feel good. You're in a bad mood. You have brain fog all the time. And then you're on this vicious cycle of wanting more, because that's what it does. Sugar gives you this high, and then you crash, and then you need more sugar to get you up for a high, and then you crash. I used to be a sugar addict. I know most of my rebels are recovering sugar addicts. We know. That's why you don't see sugar in our houses. A recovering drug addict doesn't keep drugs in his cupboard. We can't keep sugar in our house. And that's one of the long-term rules of Code Red. So we just don't see a big participation in the 10-pound takedown during the summers. 600 people maybe in a challenge where we normally would get a couple thousand people. So it's cut down by quite a bit. It's a third of what it usually is, at least. And so that's okay. We know this. We know people just don't want to think about their weight during the summer months. They want to party and they want to play. And their idea of having fun is abusing food, sugar, and alcohol. And okay, it's just the way that people are. It's the pattern I've seen over the years. But come September, they know they have all of September, all of October, and half of November before they're going to see anybody. And you can make a serious dent in your weight loss. We can get almost everybody to goal weight in 90 days. Our average person starts at an average weight of around 220 pounds. And if you do the math on that, and you can lose 10% of your body weight every month in 90 days, what can we have you down to 164? Is that what I don't know. I need to, let me do my math right here. I've got my calculator right here. Let's just say 220 pounds, minus 22 pounds on the first month, minus 19 pounds on the second month. So let me start over. 220. That's the average person's weight when they start with Code Red. I'm going to minus 10%. So I'm subtracting 22. That's first month. Now you're down below 200. You're at 198 after the first month on Code Red. Now we're going to subtract 10% of that. That's 19 pounds. Minus 19 pounds. Now by the end of the second month, you're down to 179. Now we're entering our third month on Code Red. We're going to subtract 10%. That would be 17.9 pounds, but we'll just call it 17. By the end of the third month, you're down at 162. So it works. We know in 90 days that's probably not goal weight for somebody, but that's almost a goal weight. We can get almost everybody to goal weight in 90 days. That's how great a customized program works. 10% of your body weight every month without shakes, pills, diet foods, or exercise. And by the way, a fully customized program comes with every VIP membership. So VIP comes with everything for $397 a month, and a customized program by itself is $397. So I don't know why anybody would buy a customized program by itself. You might as well just get VIP for a month. It's the same price, and you get all the other aspects of hand-holding that you're needing and wanting. So that is something people can wrap their heads around when they start that after school starts, and they know they've got all of September, all of October, and half of November. 3 weeks in November before Thanksgiving, which is the third week of November, they can make a huge dent in their weight loss. So September is definitely the second most favorite month to lose weight for the average person. The second most favorite month? Am I saying that right? Is that grammatically correct? second biggest month for weight loss is September for all those reasons that I outlined. And then they go into the holidays feeling really good, looking good, having more energy, having less brain fog, having obviously be in smaller clothes now. They're having more intimacy with their spouse because they feel better about themselves. They have more energy, less pain in their hands and knees. They've got they're reduced their medication. The four biggest medications that need to be reduced when you lose weight: thyroid, insulin, blood pressure, and cholesterol meds. Those are the four biggest medications that need to be reduced as you lose weight. You're going to feel crappy if you're on the original dosages and you lose weight with those four main ones: thyroid, insulin, blood pressure, cholesterol. You need to make sure you check with your primary and have those reduced, because if you keep them at the same level and you don't require as much, then you're going to feel worse and you're going to blame it on Code Red. I felt bad when I was on Code Red. No, you were still taking your medication the same level. Talk to your doctor about those medications. You might not need as much. Do not lower your medications on your own. Make sure that you talk to your doctor. And also, we have an at-home blood testing kit that you can get from Cyfox. If you go to coderedlifestyle.com/blood test and use the code CODERED at checkout, you get 20% off an at-home blood testing kit. So you don't even have to wait for your doctor. You can get yourself tested. We're talking almost $1,000 worth of testing for, I think, as low as $85 if you buy four kits at once or something. Anyway, you can go see that. It's really remarkable because it's going to test you on 17 different biomarkers. So don't wait for your doctor. You don't have to wait for your doctor at least to get your blood drawn. See where your thyroid levels are. See where your cortisol levels are. See where your hormone levels are. See where your stress, see what's going on with your body. See if you still have that demand on your body with your weight loss that you once did, because you're not putting the body under so much pressure. Okay. And people know this. They know that those 2.5 months are going to be some serious months going into the holidays. You're going to feel so good. And the third biggest month for weight loss is May. May is the third biggest month for weight loss. And for obvious reasons, almost exactly the same reasons as September, except for you're going into summer. So people are going into summer and they want to feel good. And so they take the month of May to lose at least 10 pounds. They do the May 10-pound takedown, and they go into summer because you can't fake being hot. Like right now in the summer of 2024, we are having record high heat wave. This is the third week in a row where we've had over 100 degrees a day. This is highly unusual for Boise, Idaho. Highly unusual for this part of the country. I've been in Idaho in my whole life, and I've never seen, I mean, normally we get maybe a few days in a row of over 100, but it's only a few days. It's never 3 solid weeks without a break. It's been awful, you guys. It's just been awful. So these people, you can't get away with wearing long sleeve shirts and parkas and scarves and hat. You can't get away with that. You have to shed some clothes or you will pass out. You'll overheat. And so when you know you got to start stripping some clothes away, it gets real quick, doesn't it? Real quick. You're like, oh crap, I look like crap. You can't hide anymore. Your fat rolls are poking out everywhere. Your big fatty neck is poking out. Your fatty arms are flopping everywhere. And then that becomes very clear that as spring goes through, April and May, you're like, shoot, I better get my act together and start getting some of this weight off before I really have to start shedding some clothes. And May tends to be a big month leading into summer. We also have wedding season in the summer, and a lot of people want to lose some weight for the wedding. Maybe they're a mother-in-law and their son's getting married and they want to fit into the mother-in-law dress. Maybe they are getting married and they want to lose some weight for their wedding. I don't like that people want to lose weight for an occasion. I think you should lose weight to be at your healthy weight for the rest of your life for obvious reasons. Of course, I think that. But I do understand that there are certain events that can come that can help keep you kind of like dangle that carrot and help you stay on track because you're keeping your eye on the prize. Problem is, that's why I believe in a short-term and long-term goal, because short-term, which is under a month or less, long term, which could be 6 months to a year, or 3, 5 years, but a lot of people can't look past that far. So long term, maybe a year, short term, a month or less. And so you need to have a short term and long term, because once that wedding's over, then what? Why do you think people put on so much weight after they get married? Because I just saw my friend, her daughter got married, and she has put on probably 75 pounds. This young girl has, I think she's 20. And I saw the pictures on Instagram of her daughter, and her daughter is shaped just like her. And she used to be my friend, and then she started gaining weight, and she pulled away from me. The more weight she gained, the less she wanted to be around me, and we used to weigh the same. And so it was so sad. I lost her for a friend, and I see that she's so big, and now her daughter is shaped exactly like her, and her daughter is so big. And it's just so sad, because now, I mean, if this weight really is packing on now that the wedding is over, and it just happens. It happens that people put on weight after they get married. Because why do you need, you got your husband, you got your wife, and nobody's really trying to look good anymore, and nobody's, you're going out, you're letting the rules go. And so if you are going to have that uh that goal, the wedding, the reunion, class reunions usually happen in the summertime. If you have some sort of graduation or something that you're trying to lose a little bit of weight for, just make sure you have a plan after the plan. After that goal, what are you going to do? You need to have a goal after that goal, because then you'll just put it right back on. And you keep losing and gaining that weight over and over and over, you're going to become weight loss resistant. And that ain't no joke. Believe me when I tell you, when I lost my 30 pounds for my transformation, for my film, the Code Red Diaries of Madness, I maintained that weight loss for 5 to 6 months. And then I had something devastating happen. I let things go. I didn't mind the rules, and I put all that weight back on. Losing it again has been 10 times harder. And I guess I wish somebody would have told me. I wish somebody would have like really sat me down and told me. But then again, I would have bet on me that I would never have gained the weight back. I mean, I would have told you you're crazy. I never would have. I'm not gaining this weight back. Well, it happened. So it could happen to you if you don't really mind the rules. I've seen it happen to so many people. They leave Code Red, they disconnect from the community, they gain their weight back. Every single coach and mentor and leader who has ever left Code Red has gained their weight back. You can look them all up. You can see it is sad, and it happens to everybody. You've got to stay connected to the community. And it's not because Code Red doesn't work. It's the proper human diet. It's real food, water, sleep. It's because you stopped doing the rules. You stopped getting on the scale. You stopped drinking your water. You started eating out too much. You started letting things slip. You started letting sugar come in your house. That is the number one biggest rule. We have 3 non-negotiable rules for long-term success with Code Red. You stay on the scale every morning. You drink your water every day. And you never allow sugar to come in your house ever again. Ever. Ever. And you're like, well, what? You want to be fat again, or you want to keep the weight off? This is one of those non-negotiable rules. And people break them, and they think they got it. They think they got it. And the pull of the drug is just too strong. I know we had a coach many years ago that lost close to lost 100 pounds. She lost 100 pounds on Code Red. And it was a cupcake for her granddaughter's birthday. That was the culprit. That was the gateway drug. And she had 3 cupcakes left over from her granddaughter's birthday party. Why do you think I always say that? Because what happened to her. And she ate one of the tops of the cupcake and didn't really think anything of it. And then she ate the second cupcake. Then she ate the rest of them. Then she ate all of them. And she said, I'm just going to eat them all so they'll all be gone. And then she said, I'm going to start back on Monday. And Monday never came. And she just ate herself up to gaining every bit of that 100 pounds off. And it's so sad. And they've all done it. And I did it. So I'm telling you right now, it is a slippery slope. You got to have a goal after the goal. It's not good enough that your daughter's getting married on June 21st. And so you're starting for the whole month of May and 2-3 weeks into June. And that's going to be what you do. You have to, what's going to happen after that? I'm telling you, you're going to want to keep the momentum going, because it is a slippery slope, and you'll be right back where you started. And all that hard work will be down the drain. And don't nobody want that. I just find it interesting that these are the three biggest months. Now, of course, I explained it to you and you can understand now why January, September, and May are the three biggest months for weight loss. But if you're truly ready, because like right now it's July 2024, we're halfway between May and September. And, we just started a 10-pound takedown. I'm sure we do one every other month. But so that would mean September. But you need to ask yourself, what's going on with me? Am I ready? And when you're ready, when you're ready, nothing can stop you. It doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. You don't need to wait for one of those three big months. You don't need to wait for anything. You don't need to wait for the first of the month. You don't need to wait for a Monday. You don't need to wait. I mean, everybody wants to go on a diet after dinner Sunday night. But then Monday comes along and you're feeling like crap and you're a little bit hungry and you give in. I mean, it's really easy to commit to something when your stomach is full. And you need the help. You need the support. You need Code Red. We're in your corner. We can help you. We have Code Red Ringside, which is a $15 a month membership group where I come live to you 3 times a week. It's a community. Community is the number one biggest thing that will make or break your weight loss and your health journey. You've got to stay connected to the community. It's vital to your success. There are only I don't even know of any outliers in this world who can be completely on their own. If you think of the Life Below Zero, that Nat Geo special that was on for like over 10 years, and they followed these Alaskan families that lived in like the Inupiaq, natives that lived in remote Alaska in the Brooks Range or on the North Slope or like these little villages where you can't get anything in or out. Like those people were different. They are the outliers. But we're talking about almost 8 billion people on this planet, and they only showcase 6 families on Life Below Zero for 10 years. So there aren't a lot of people who can live like that, who can hold themselves accountable. Now, if they don't hold themselves accountable, they die. We're not in that situation in this modern world. We live in kind of a concrete jungle now. We have food everywhere. It's not really food. It's processed. It's processed substance that smells like food and looks like food, but isn't really food. It's food like product that we're eating, and we're sick and fat. We're sicker and fatter than ever in human history because of this food like product that's actually frankenfood that does your health no good. And so pretty much everybody I know needs to have a community of people around them to help them adhere to the program because the deck is stacked against us. You go into Home Depot to buy a doorknob and you are bombarded in line with Baby Ruth and Swedish Fish. The deck is stacked against us because the system wants you sick and fat. The system wants you dependent on them. The system wants you eating 9 to 11 servings of grain a day to keep that industry going. The system wants you, the government wants you, the society wants you eating 3 meals and 2 snacks because that's going to make you buy more food. Where Code Red Rebels eat 2 meals a day spaced at least 5 hours apart. The system is set up to keep you dependent on them. Cancer is a $146 billion industry per year. And obese people have a 71% greater chance of cancer. They make money off of you being fat and sick. Uber Eats makes money. Domino's Pizza makes money. Costco Pizza makes money. Everything, every industry makes money. Even the gym industry makes money off of you being sick and fat. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be this way. If you understand the nature of the trap, you can turn and face it and go against the grain, and you can be a rebel. That's why we call ourselves rebel. We rebel against what society has brainwashed us to believe. You don't have to wait for January, May, or September to lose weight. You don't have to wait for the first of the month. You don't have to wait for Monday. You can make your decision right now. And if you do, and if you are ready, we are here for you with a variety of programs. We do have our top tier program, VIP, but we do have our bottom $17 program, which is called the 7-day total body reset. If you go to coderedlifestyle.com/reset, we have the 10-pound takedown for $27. We have Code Red Ringside for $15. You have the Code Red Revolution book for $15. Like you have the Rebel for Life book off Amazon. You can get that. There are so many different outlets for you to get the help the community, the support, the education, the information, the love that you need. Don't wait. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you are looking for some hardcore accountability to get and keep this weight off, look no further, because I've got VIP Connection. This is the ultimate connection to me, just short of me sleeping on your couch. You're going to get 3 daily messages from me in real time directly to you. You're going to submit your weight every Friday. We're going to go over it in a weekly meeting on Sunday nights, and I'm going to give you feedback. You'll have access to a monthly VIP breakfast with me in Boise, a monthly VIP supplement box, access to any workshop, any PDF promo that I hold for that month. You'll have access to the Ringside membership. And best of all, you'll have a fully customized nutrition program written just for you. We're talking about over $3,000 total value for $397 a month, and you can cancel anytime. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/VIP to check that out.